Self-responsibility means accepting that you are the one in charge of your life, your thoughts, your actions, your choices, and ultimately your outcomes. It is not about blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong, but about recognizing that you have the power to influence your future, no matter what your past or present looks like. Many people wait for external factors to change, the right job offer, the right relationship, the perfect moment, or someone to give them permission to move forward, but this mindset keeps them stuck. The truth is, no lasting change can happen in your life until you take full ownership of it. Self-responsibility is about saying, I may not control everything that happens to me, but I do control how I respond, how I learn, and how I grow from it. That's incredibly empowering. It means your life isn't at the mercy of luck, other people, or the system. It's in your hands. When you embrace self-responsibility, your excuses start to disappear. You stop blaming others, your upbringing, or your circumstances. Instead of saying, I can't because of this or that, you start asking, what can I do about it? That shift in thinking opens the door to solutions, progress, and eventually transformation. This mindset doesn't mean everything becomes easy. It means you're willing to face hard truths, to admit when you've made mistakes, and to correct your course when necessary. That honesty with yourself is what builds real character and resilience. The moment you take full responsibility, you stop waiting, and you start doing. Think about the people who inspire you, those who have risen above challenges or reinvented themselves. What sets them apart is not their resources or talent alone. It's their refusal to be victims of their circumstances. They chose to take control. They accepted responsibility for their success, their failures, and everything in between. Self-responsibility also builds confidence. When you know that your growth depends on you, you stop fearing what others think or waiting for approval. You become more focused, more disciplined, and more intentional. You start making decisions based on your goals, not your fears. In a world that often teaches us to point fingers and shift blame, taking self-responsibility is a radical act. It means you're not just surviving, you're leading your own life, and that's where real change begins, because at the end of the day, no one is coming to save you. The only person who can change your life is you. And that journey starts the moment you take full responsibility for who you are, and where you want to go. That's not a burden, that's your power. Your life as it stands today is largely the result of the decisions you've made, big and small. The schools you attended, the jobs you accepted, the people you surrounded yourself with, the habits you developed. All of these are decisions. Some were made consciously, others were made by default. But taken together, they have shaped the direction of your life. This is why we say decisions shape destiny. Every moment offers a choice. You may not always get to choose what happens to you, but you always choose how to respond. And those choices determine your character, your outcomes, and your future. What often goes unnoticed is how powerful small, seemingly insignificant decisions are. Choosing to wake up early and work on your goals instead of sleeping in. Choosing to have a difficult conversation instead of avoiding it. Choosing to believe in your potential instead of doubting yourself. These are the quiet moments where your future is being written, not with dramatic gestures, but with consistent, intentional action. The good news is, no matter where you are now, your next decision can change everything. You're never too far behind, never too broken, and never too late to decide differently. People don't just stumble into new lives, they choose them. They make a decision to let go of what no longer serves them, to stop tolerating what holds them back, and to step forward into something better. Think of the stories we admire most, people who overcame adversity, who turned failure into triumph, who went from rock bottom to a life of meaning and impact. At the heart of each of those stories is a moment of decision, a turning point where someone said, I've had enough, I'm going to change. That's the power of decision. It's the first step toward change. It's the internal shift that says, this is who I want to become and I'm willing to act on it. but decisions require clarity and courage. Clarity to know what matters most and courage to follow through even when it's uncomfortable. Too often, people avoid decisions out of fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But avoiding decisions is itself a decision, one that leads to stagnation, regret, and missed opportunities. The truth is, if you don't choose your path, life will choose for you, and it may not be the one you want. So ask yourself, what am I choosing today? Is this decision moving me closer to who I want to be, or further away? Your destiny isn't shaped by luck. It's not determined by your past. It's not written in the stars. It's written by your choices. Make them count. Every meaningful transformation starts with a shift inside your mind. Before you see any change in your circumstances, habits, or behaviors, there has to be a change in how you think, what you believe, and how you view yourself and the world around you. In fact, the mind is the birthplace of all change. Your thoughts are powerful. They shape your perceptions, influence your emotions, and drive your actions. If you think you can't do something, your brain will find reasons why it's impossible. If you believe you're destined to fail, your efforts will reflect that expectation. Conversely, when you cultivate a mindset of possibility, growth, and resilience, your actions begin to align with that belief, and change becomes inevitable. This is why mindset matters so deeply. It is the lens through which you interpret every experience. It's the internal dialogue you carry with you 24/7, shaping your confidence, your motivation, and your persistence. When your mindset shifts from doubt to belief, from fear to courage, from limitation to possibility, that's when the real work begins. One reason many people struggle to change is that they focus too much on external factors, waiting for the right opportunity, the right environment, or the right people. But no amount of external improvement can create lasting change if the mind remains stuck in old patterns, limiting beliefs, or negative self-talk. Consider this: every habit you have, every skill you've learned, every attitude you hold started as a thought. Change those thoughts, and you change the foundation of your habits and behaviors. For example, someone who believes they are capable and deserving of success will take actions that support those beliefs, like setting goals, persevering through failure, and seeking growth. Someone who believes they are not worthy or capable will likely avoid challenges, give up easily, or sabotage their own progress. Changing your mindset doesn't happen overnight. It requires awareness, intention, and practice. The first step is to become aware of your current thoughts, especially the negative or limiting ones. Then, consciously choose to challenge and replace them with empowering beliefs. Surround yourself with positivity, affirmations, and role models who inspire growth. It also means embracing a growth mindset, the understanding that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. This mindset opens you up to new possibilities and encourages resilience in the face of setbacks. Instead of fearing failure, you start to see it as a necessary part of growth. Ultimately, when change begins in the mind, it ripples outward, transforming your feelings, your actions, your relationships, and your circumstances. It's the seed from which all transformation grows. So, if you want to change your life, start by changing your mind. Nourish your thoughts with belief, courage, and possibility. Because true, lasting change isn't about waiting for the world to change. It's about changing the way you see and engage with the world. Having dreams, goals, and intentions is essential. They give your life direction and purpose. But intentions alone don't create change. Without action, they remain just wishes or ideas floating in your mind. The bridge between dreaming and doing, between hope and achievement, is action. Intentions are like seeds planted in fertile soil. They hold potential, but just planting a seed doesn't guarantee a tree will grow. You have to water it, provide sunlight, and nurture it daily. Similarly, your intentions need consistent, deliberate action to grow into reality. Too often, people fall into the trap of planning endlessly or waiting for the perfect moment to start. They spend more time thinking about what they want to do than actually doing it. This gap between intention and action is where dreams die. The truth is, the perfect moment rarely comes. Action must begin where you are, with whatever resources you have. Action is the proof that you are serious about your intentions. It transforms abstract ideas into concrete steps. Each step you take builds momentum, creating progress that fuels motivation and confidence. Small actions taken consistently lead to big results over time. Another important aspect is that action teaches you. When you act, you learn what works and what doesn't. Mistakes become lessons and challenges become opportunities for growth. Without action, your intentions remain theoretical and you miss out on the real-world feedback needed to improve and adapt. Action also builds resilience. The more you act despite fear, doubt, or uncertainty, the stronger your resolve becomes. Each action reinforces your commitment, making it easier to continue moving forward. On the other hand, inaction breeds regret, self-doubt, and frustration. Think of action as the language of your intentions. Your mind may dream, plan, or hope, but your actions speak loudly to the universe and to yourself about what you truly want. The difference between wishing and achieving is doing. It's important to remember that not all action needs to be perfect or grand. Starting small is powerful. Even the tiniest step forward is progress. The key is consistency and persistence. Over time, these small actions compound, creating transformations that once seemed impossible. In summary, intention is the spark, but action is the fuel that lights the fire. Without action, your intentions are just dreams. But when you commit to taking action, no matter how imperfect, you begin to turn your vision into your reality. So ask yourself, what action will I take today to bring my intentions closer? What's one step, however small, that moves me forward? Because the only way to make your dreams real is to start doing. One of the biggest myths that hold people back from making meaningful changes in their lives is the belief that they need perfect conditions to start. People think they need the right timing, ideal circumstances, perfect resources, or a flawless plan before they can take action. But the truth is, waiting for perfect conditions is one of the surest ways to guarantee you never start at all. Life is unpredictable, circumstances are rarely perfect, and waiting for everything to line up perfectly before you act can leave you stuck in a perpetual state of inaction. Whether it's waiting for the perfect job opportunity, the right time to start exercising, the ideal moment to launch a project, or the exact moment you feel ready, this mindset puts your progress on hold indefinitely. The reality is, progress doesn't require perfection. It requires commitment and willingness to start where you are. Many successful people have achieved great things despite less than ideal conditions. They started with limited resources, faced obstacles, and encountered failures along the way. What set them apart was their determination to begin anyway and their ability to adapt as they went. You don't need a perfect plan or a clear path. You don't need full confidence or a guarantee of success. You don't need complete knowledge or all the resources. What you need is the courage to take the first step, no matter how small or imperfect. Starting in imperfect conditions actually has unique benefits. It forces you to be resourceful and creative. It builds resilience and grit because you learn to navigate challenges rather than avoid them. It encourages growth as you adjust and improve your approach based on real experience instead of theory. Moreover, perfect conditions are often an illusion. They rarely exist, and when they do, they rarely last. Waiting for the right time often means waiting forever. The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. For example, if you want to get healthier, waiting for the perfect gym membership, the right shoes, or a clean bill of health may delay your start. But you can start by walking around your neighborhood or choosing healthier meals today. If you want to start a business, waiting until you have all the funding or the perfect market conditions might stop you. Instead, begin with research, testing ideas, and building your network. Taking imperfect action sends a powerful message to yourself and to the world that you are committed to change regardless of the circumstances. In essence, the ideal time to start is now, exactly where you are. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. They rarely come. Instead, embrace the power of beginning, imperfect and all. Because forward movement, even with flaws, is what creates momentum, growth, and ultimately, success. The truth is, the most profound transformation you can experience doesn't come from changing your environment or the people around you first. Instead, it starts with changing yourself. When you grow, evolve, and improve from within, your entire world shifts in response. Personal change is powerful because your thoughts, attitudes, and behaviors directly influence how you experience life and how others interact with you. When you change internally, everything around you responds differently. Your relationships improve, new opportunities arise, and even your environment seems to transform. Imagine yourself as the center of a ripple effect. Every change you make within yourself sends waves outward, touching all areas of your life. For example, when you develop greater confidence, you carry yourself differently. People notice your energy and respond more positively. When you cultivate patience or empathy, your relationships become stronger and more fulfilling. When you improve your habits and mindset, you become more productive and attract better chances. Many people spend years trying to change external things, hoping that a new job, new partner, new house, or a new circle of friends will solve their problems. But these external changes often don't last or bring the deep satisfaction they seek. The reason? Because if the inner patterns remain the same challenges and limitations will resurface in new forms. Personal change means taking responsibility for your mindset, habits, emotional responses, and actions. It means consciously deciding to improve how you handle stress, how you communicate, and how you approach your goals. It's about evolving beyond old beliefs that no longer serve you. When you commit to this inner work, you open the door for transformation in every area of life. Your career grows because you approach problems with a fresh perspective and resilience. Your friendships deepen because you become a better listener and a more supportive presence. Your health improves because you respect and nurture your body. Even your community feels your positive influence. In essence, when you change yourself, you change your world. This also explains why personal growth is a lifelong journey. The world around you is always shifting, and by continuously improving yourself, you remain adaptable and empowered to navigate any change. Moreover, personal change inspires others. When people see your transformation, they are often motivated to reflect on their own lives and pursue growth. Your change becomes a beacon, creating a ripple effect that can impact your family, friends, workplace, and beyond. So if you want your world to be different, more fulfilling, joyful, and aligned with your dreams, start with yourself. Focus on your personal growth, your mindset, and your habits. The world you want isn't out there waiting. It is created from the inside out. Remember, the most powerful change you can make is the one within. And when you do that, everything else changes with it.